God-level duplication system. Chapter 67. Disperse. However, Grand Elder immediately threw these thoughts to the back of his mind and turned his attention to Lin Xuan. In just a month, Lin Xuan had become the #1 person in the outer sect. He was still in Qi gathering stage 4, but he had already gained insight into the artistic conception of creation. With his talent, he could be said to be a super genius. If Lin Xuan was nurtured well, he would at least be the next Lu Qiannia. Lin Xuan could not be buried. He had to report it to the higher-ups of the sect, and let them know. Thinking of this, the Grand Elder turned around and left, heading towards the core area of the sect. Lin Xuan returned to his courtyard. He didn't delay any longer and went straight to the cultivation room, sitting cross-legged on a hassock. A thought flashed through his mind. He chose to use it. In an instant, a wave of warmth appeared within Lin Xuan's body. The cold voice of the prompt echoed from time to time. Congratulations to host for breaking through to the top-grade Crimson Fire talent. Congratulations to host for breaking through to the Great Completion Rank 6 top-grade martial skill, Flaming Fist. Congratulations to host for breaking through to the top-grade Heavy Water talent. At the same time, Lin Xuan's aura was also slowly increasing. While Lin Xuan was in secluded cultivation and absorbing the duplicated treasure, the entire outer sect of Drifting Cloud sect was shocked by it. Even the inner sect was shocked. Today was the annual competition of the outer sect. The competition of the outer sect was set to be held in a month's time when the new disciple was at the beginner level. This would motivate the new disciple. New disciples could also participate in the competition, but they had never achieved any results before. Basically, they were eliminated in the first round. Not many people noticed. Initially, everyone thought that this year would be the same as the previous years. However, they didn't expect that Lin Xuan would be such an exception. Lin Xuan was the new disciple this year, and he had only been at the beginner level for a month. During the beginner level test, the result of his talent test even attracted the outer sect's third elder to personally come forward and praise him for having true potential. At that time, he had caused quite a stir. And the one who had shocked the inner-outer secretary this time was still him. In the first round of the outer sect competition, he had made his way into the puppet tower. Lin Xuan displayed an astonishing result. Originally, the #1 expert of the outer sect, Chen Yuzi, had revealed his Qi transformation stage cultivation base. It only took him 3 minutes to pass the level. This was the highest record in recent years. This should also be Chen Yuzi's best result. But compared to Lin Xuan, he seemed very ordinary. Lin Xuan actually used less than a minute to pass the level. Furthermore, he passed the level smoothly all the way. He had destroyed level 1 to the 6th level, as well as the Iron Man that was guarding the final level. When they heard this, they were all extremely shocked, and they couldn't believe what they had just heard. This was because such a result had never appeared in the dozens of years since the establishment of the Puppet Tower in the entire Drifting Cloud sect. At that time, Grand Elder Shu Anlin and all the disciples of the outer sect outside the Puppet Tower didn't believe it either. But right after that, the deacon disciple, who was responsible for recording the results, rushed out to report. He dragged out the fragment of the puppet from the pagoda, and only then did they believe him. But even so, although they were shocked, they still didn't believe him completely. Although the evidence was in front of them, they did not see it with their own eyes, so they kept a trace of doubt in their hearts. When they heard this, everyone was similarly shocked. However, they only believed half of it, but they still retained some of the elements of doubt. But after that, Lin Xuan's performance wasn't inferior to theirs at all. After that, it was the second round of the competition. Although the Grand Elder from the outer sect didn't completely believe it, he still let Lin Xuan enter the top 20 of the competition. Of course, Lin Xuan was only on the 7th team. Since the dummies were destroyed, the remaining 3 teams couldn't continue the first round of elimination. Grand Elder had given the disciples of the outer sect a chance to challenge the top 20 in the second round, and the winner would be able to replace him. As expected, some of them found Lin Xuan's ridiculous results to be unbelievable. They couldn't believe that they had challenged him. This man was one of the top warriors of the outer sect. He was a peak of Qi gathering stage warrior, and he was also one of the top 20 warriors in the outer sect. However, the result was a crushing defeat. He had been defeated by Lin Xuan and had suffered a serious injury. When everyone heard about this, they were all stunned. Lin Xuan was indeed a top genius. He was only at beginner level for a month, but he already had the strength to surpass the peak of the Qi gathering stage. Putting aside the inner sect and outer sect, he was an extremely rare existence in the entire Drifting Cloud sect. At the scene of the competition, after Lin Xuan defeated Wang Kui, he naturally had the qualifications to be ranked in the top 20. Furthermore, he was the only one who had entered the top 20 as a new disciple in all these years. After that, Lin Xuan won all the time and he successfully entered the top 10. Regarding this, no one was surprised. Since Lin Xuan was able to defeat Wang Kui, his strength was at least at the same level as the top 3 experts of the outer sect. However, Lin Xuan's performance after that once again shocked everyone. When Lin Xuan was competing with Zhou Lei and Guan Yuanshuang of the outer sect, he had actually defeated them. From the beginning of the competition, Lin Xuan had defeated many people. Until now, he had still defeated 2 of the top 3 experts from the outer sect. When everyone heard about this, they were all shocked. Perhaps, even if he hadn't reached the Qi transformation stage, he wouldn't be much weaker than them. In just a month's time, Lin Xuan had actually made such progress. Everyone was once again shocked by Lin Xuan's talent. But this was only the beginning. After that, that's the real shock. The competition was about to end. The last match was Lin Xuan versus the number 1 expert of the outer sect, Chen Yuzi. This time not only did Chen Yuzi reveal his Qi transformation stage cultivation base, but he also revealed his concept. Although this was only the embryonic form of the concept, the embryonic form of the sword, intent, but with the enhancement of the concept, the power of martial arts would increase several times, or even dozens of times. Many Qi transformation stage middle stage disciples from the inner sect might not be Chen Yuzi's match. This time, Lin Xuan should be defeated. Everyone was guessing in their minds. But this time, even though it was the last match, Lin Xuan had erupted once again. That's right, this was the concept. Lin Xuan was a new beginner-level disciple for a month. At most, he was only at the Qi gathering stage, but he had also comprehended the concept. Furthermore, this was not the embryonic form of the concept that Chen Yuzi had. He had the true artistic conception of creation, the half-incomplete sword intent. Therefore, Lin Xuan easily defeated Chen Yuzi with his sword intent and won first place in the competition. At this point, the competition ended. When everyone saw this situation, they were all stunned. They stood blankly on the spot, their eyes wide open. Their faces were filled with disbelief. They were even deeply suspicious. What? Did they hear it wrong? Lin Xuan was a new disciple, and he was still in the Qi gathering stage. How could he comprehend the concept? Furthermore, he even had an artistic conception of creation and a half-incomplete sword intent. This was something that not even the current elite senior brother, Lucania, could achieve. Did Lin Xuan really succeed? They couldn't believe it. They all thought it was an illusion. Because this was simply too illusory and not real at all.